Hello everyone, this is English.youtube. Welcome to it. Today's episode, I promise, is fascinating. It is full of interesting words and expressions like rip into somebody, dress somebody down, go after somebody, words like prolific, mind-boggling, and lots of other words and expressions that you will have to learn if you want to speak at an advanced level. So go ahead and listen, and as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, or leave us a comment. We will appreciate it.
You are, for my money, the most prolific comedy mind that I can think of.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think the first word was easy to guess. For my money. For my money means in my opinion. For my money, Sunday is the best day to travel because the roads are quiet. So here the person is expressing their opinion and they start with for my money. Prolific, which is a more useful word, of course. Prolific means producing a great number or amount of something. For example, he was probably the most prolific songwriter of his generation. So to be prolific means that you do something a lot. And lately, I have been kind of prolific with this podcast. Almost every day, I churn out an episode.
But there is something, like whenever I get frustrated, I lose sight the fact that it is really rewarding to kind of come up with material and be able to do it.
Frustrated, or frustrated as the British say. It means feeling annoyed or less confident because you cannot achieve what you want. So it doesn't mean just generally unhappy. It has a particular meaning. You're less confident because you cannot achieve something that you want. Lose sight of something. To forget about an important idea or fact because you are thinking too much about other things. I'm worried that we're losing sight of our original objectives. It means that we had some objectives to begin with, and now we have forgotten about that because we are thinking about other things. And that's why I'm worried that we are losing sight of our original objectives.
The other nice thing too is I've seen people ride this crazy wave and then that kind of can peter out. And you have consistently over the years, you're always really funny. It just kept building and building and building and building. And now your level of success is mind-boggling. And I look at your whole career and I go, oh, it was all earned.
To ride a wave of something or ride on a wave of something means you get an advantage from it. The new president is riding a wave of popularity. And in the podcast, we hear people ride this crazy wave, which means that they are successful for a while, and then they peter out, which I'm going to explain now. To peter out means to gradually stop or disappear. So if people ride a wave of popularity and they peter out, it means that they disappear. Or example, the fighting which started in the night had petered out by the morning, which means it had gradually stopped. We hear your level of success is mind-boggling. So if something is mind-boggling, it means it's extremely surprising and difficult to understand or imagine. Example, she was paid the mind-boggling sum of $10 million for that film. Sum means sum of money. So she was paid, the amount of money that she was paid was mind-boggling. Difficult to understand, difficult to imagine. If we tell somebody that, for example, your success was earned or it was well earned, we want to say that you deserved it because because of what you have done or experienced. Example, Liz won't be at work next week. She's having a well-earned rest. It means that she earned it. She deserves it because she has worked hard, and now she won't be at work.
I'm hard-pressed to think of anyone else who could tour with Jerry Seinfeld.
To be hard-pressed to do something means that you would find it really difficult to do it. Like, most people would be hard-pressed, would find it difficult to name more than half a dozen members of the government. It means that they couldn't do it. So if you are hard-pressed to do something, it means you couldn't do it.
Bill Burr will say a statement where people are like, come on, don't say that.
Yeah.
And then he will win you over, and you're like, all right, yeah, I guess you have a point there. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say it, I'd phrase it the way you're saying, but yeah, you make a point.
Sure.
But
win someone over. If you win someone over, you persuade them to support you or agree with you, often when they were opposed to you before. He's not sure about the idea, but I'm sure we'll win him over in the end. So what he's saying is that Bill Burr, who is a comedian, will say something that you would be opposed to, and then he will win you over. You will agree with him after a while, and you will say, yeah, you make a point. Also, to make a point means that you have a point there. You might be right.
And then he came out, and I think he went after both of us. And of course, you and I are like kids in a candy shop.
To go after somebody and dress them down could mean that you confront them and you scold them for a mistake or something bad that they have done. However, in this podcast, it doesn't mean that they have done something bad. It means that another comedian roasted them. Roasting is like humorously criticizing somebody and making jokes about them. So when they say he roasted us, he went after us and dressed us down, it means that he made mean jokes about us. But of course, it is told in a humorous manner. It is not something serious. It's just roasting and making jokes about somebody.
he literally walked out, stole the whole show, just dressing us down.
Yes. Yeah.
For 5 minutes and left.
Yeah.
He was shooting the next day. He's 75 years old, walked out, ripped into us, left. And everyone's like, oh, well, that's the best part of the show.
Rip into somebody. It means to attack or criticize someone or something with great force, like she ripped into her opponent's proposals, calling them completely unworkable. However, in this context, when they say he ripped into us, it has the same meaning as he dressed us down. He made jokes about us. He roasted us.